Well, I started ProX in 2009.
Okay.
The property management business. And then I got my broker's license and left Jim Bishop's office in Pittsburgh in 2013.
So that's when you started the brokerage?
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha.
And in there we started ProX Construction also, we're one of the rare property management companies out there. We're a licensed general contractor. We can do everything from build to rent, complete rehabs, light remodels, anything that a customer might need, we can take care of in-house.
Thanks for joining us on episode 3 of the REI-NWA podcast. I'm your host, Colley Bailey, broker with the LoneRock home team at Fathom Realty. And this is the podcast for Northwest Arkansas investors, the businesses that support them, the sponsors, and the speakers of our REI-NWA events. And today I have with us Tyler Casey, owner of ProX Property Management. Thanks for joining us, man. It's good to see you.
Glad to be here. Good to see you too. Yeah. Good to meet you. Kathleen tells me about how amazing Colley Bailey is with the marketing aspect of the REI all the time. So
I'm just trying to hang on to all the content that needs to be created and the videos and all the technology that we're supposed to stay on top of. There's constantly new things that we're supposed to do in marketing. So
you're Kathleen's IT too?
I try not to do that. She's always trying to give me jobs, extra jobs. It's like every time we hang out, she's like, "Oh, I got another thing you should."
Yeah, she's recruiting me for some stuff.
Yep. Watch out, she'll do it for sure. But no, thanks for being here, and also really thank you for being our champion sponsor for the month of September.
We are happy to do it. Big believers in real estate investor associations. When we started our second location in Joplin, Missouri in 2020, one of the first things we did was join the Joplin REIA, the REIA. And it was a really great way for us to connect with people who were already doing the things that our service may be of help to. Yeah. So it was a great way to make some connections and build some relationships. And add some value to that group of people as well.
So is that where you started in real estate? It was around Joplin?
We started in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Started in Pittsburgh, Kansas. I bought my first rental property in 2008.
Okay.
And then took my first property management contract in 2009 and got my real estate license, which was with a Coldwell Banker franchise in Pittsburgh, Kansas, ran by Jim Bishop at the time. Got my broker's license in 2013 and started ProX Realty in 2013.
Okay. Wow.
We're about a 14 agent brokerage, doing close to $40 million a year in sales volume on average.
Are you mostly focused on property management, the property management side, or do you guys also do transactional stuff?
So I do have someone who runs the real estate brokerage side for me. I'm not very involved in that part of it. We manage almost 1,300 units between Pittsburgh, Joplin, and Northwest Arkansas. We have a 30-person team in total and that's not including the 14 real estate agents. So, but our primary purpose and the reason the company exists is to build the world's greatest real estate investment, property management, and housing solution. And I really started out to build it for myself because I wanted to invest in real estate. So I wanted to have construction in-house. I wanted to have property management in-house. I wanted to have a brokerage that sourced deals for me.
Wow.
And so that's what I started to build. And we kind of, just to generate some revenue and some income, we started taking property management contracts. And I just realized, first of all, it grew really fast. Like once we started taking them, we just kept getting referrals and clients kept adding units and we kept finding deals for clients and it just kind of snowballed from a 0 to a 500 unit business in Pittsburgh, Kansas in a matter of 5 years. Wow. So
yeah, it's a very specialized skill set. I mean, not a lot of people in the real estate agent world are good at that or interested in that? I mean, there aren't that many people who are really doing it. So, yeah.
And don't want to.
Right.
They perceive it as sort of a pain in the butt,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be with leaky faucets and late night phone calls and things like that, which we've done a great job of building a system and infrastructure to handle all those things effectively, and a team to oversee every major function.
Yeah.
But it can be a challenging business, and that's one reason why we developed the agent referral program that we talked about earlier.
Okay, yeah.
Because we thought, a lot of real estate agents probably would like to have some consistent income like property management can deliver, some recurring consistent monthly income, but they don't necessarily have the time or the desire to actually do what it takes to build a property management business. And so we started paying agents 1% of the collected rents of every client that they referred to us. And then we also protect that agent's relationship with that client as an agent by tracking where those things come from. And if we find a deal we think would be good for their client, we co-op the deal with the agent.
That's awesome.
And it's a great sales thing for us and a great marketing thing for us.
Yeah.
But it's also a really cool way for real estate agents in the markets that we're in to make some passive income.
Yeah. Well, and REI-NWA has a lot of agent members, and so take note of that. Really, you should book a lunch
with all of them.
Yep. Well, I was saying, if you're listening to this podcast and that's interesting to you, really, book a lunch with Tyler or people on his team, and make that connection, because it could really help you service your clients.
Also, if you have a property management business currently and you're looking for an exit, that's something that we've done as well.
Oh, okay.
Part of the way we've grown to 1,300 units is we've bought out other property management companies in our markets. We've done that. About 300 of those units were acquisitions from a couple different previous competitors that now have sold their business to us, and then when they get new leads on property management, they just refer them to us and keep adding to our portfolio. So.
That's great. Yeah, wow. Well, you've grown a wonderful business, it sounds like, over the last... So you started ProX in 2013.
Well, I started ProX in 2009.
Okay.
The property management business. And then I got my broker's license and left Jim Bishop's office in Pittsburgh in 2013.
So that's when you started the brokerage?
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha.
And in there we started ProX Construction also, we're one of the rare property management companies out there. We're a licensed general contractor. We can do everything from build to rent, complete rehabs, light remodels, anything that a customer might need, we can take care of in-house.
Okay.
We do not have a problem with owners who have contractors that they like working with them. Same thing with the brokerage side. We're not trying to lock a client into working with us on the brokerage side, but like I said, if we do find a deal and another agent brought them to us, we will work with that other agent and that client to get them into those new units. It's a great way for internal growth and protect those relationships.
Well, new construction right now is a great way to acquire assets without having to go, buy on the open market. You can make the inventory that you need with the right partners. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of investors wanting to do that, and so that's great to know that they've got that option. So.
Yeah, we're building a ton in Joplin and Pittsburgh.
Really?
We really haven't started building any here, just because we don't have. I mean, this is a fairly new location for us. We just started taking contracts here 3 months ago. We're already at 107 doors under management in Northwest Arkansas within 3 months, so it's going pretty well.
It's growing fast, yeah.
But it's we don't have kind of all of the ancillary services kind of in place and with all the team in place with the project management team and all that. But we're getting there.
Cool. Yeah. So what's the big vision? I mean, you've done amazing things over the last 14. I'm trying to do the math in my head. 14, 15 years in the industry. What's the next 15 look like for you?
So we're in the process of building our own proprietary property management software.
Okay.
It's called Live Apex.
Oh, wow.
And it's basically going to have the function. So the average property management company uses 5 softwares to run their business.
Mm-hmm.
We use 7 softwares to run our business. Our software really builds the functionality of those 5 primary functionalities that property managers would be looking for into one system. So like your primary property management system would be like an Appfolio or a Buildium or a Yardi or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of them now are using a leasing automation and self-showing technology, so they don't have to run around and show units to prospective tenants. Ours builds that into it. Most of them have some sort of a key tracking process, or they need one and they don't know it, right?
Right.
Some of them, I've seen them, they got a bowl of keys on their desk and they start digging when they need to find the key, you know? And we've got a deal built into our software where you can buy key tags from us with QR codes on them, and you can assign those QR code tags a certain number on a board that we give you a design to produce.
Okay.
And then you can just scan in, scan out keys as people need to take them out for things with any smartphone.
Oh, cool.
And you know exactly where that key is. You know exactly where that key's been. You know where it needs to go back to on your board. And you know exactly where to find it if somebody needs it, like an appraiser or an inspector or a maintenance person or whatever.
Cool.
And then it also integrates with DocuSign and QuickBooks, so it's got kind of all the functionality built into one system somebody would need.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's some of those things are like the key software. That's a solution people didn't know they needed until it's available. That's pretty cool. So
the person who was my biggest competitor in Pittsburgh when I first started, they're either out of business now or very close to out of business. I'd walk into his office because we would steal clients from them, right? I mean, not intentionally. It was just we were doing things different, better, implementing technology, tracking things the way they were supposed to be, right? And you'd go into his office and just stacks and stacks of files, like 5 feet high on desks everywhere in his office. Yeah. And that was how he was tracking all these client files. And then this is the key bowl thing. So I would ask him for the keys. He'd reach under his desk and he'd grab this giant bowl. I mean, it was this big, just full of keys. And he'd start picking and setting them out until he found the keys for the properties that he was.
Wow. So you're obviously growing this business a lot, and I'm just curious, are there opportunities for investors to work with you in some of these things on the business side, not maybe just real estate, but you're trying to grow this business. So
you mean other than like as a property management customer?
Yeah, like more of a partnership or something.
So if you're not in a market that we're already in, we did get registered with the Federal Trade Commission to sell franchises in about 36 states in 2022. We've actually sold 2 already, so we've got 1 open in Winter Haven, Florida. So if any investors here are interested in diversifying your markets that you're in, we've got Pittsburgh, Joplin, Northwest Arkansas, and Winter Haven, Florida available. My franchisee, Drew Swain, and his wife Casey run that location, and they're awesome, and they do it according to our system and our processes there. And he's also a contractor, so he's got a building business, so he's able to do the build to rent stuff for people there, which is pretty cool. And we also sold a franchise which is not yet open yet in Springfield, Missouri. And we're projecting for that location to open November 1st. And that's kind of a really neat deal because Jesse and his partners, Luke and Cole, who are going to own a piece of the franchise, they already all have some units of their own that the system will manage from day one. So Jesse has like 70 investment properties, and Cole has like 60. So from day one, they'll be able to manage 130 units in their location. And that was a big reason why they bought the franchise, was because they had a connection with one of our biggest customers who was just saying how great we were. to these people basically, and how it was so different than, because he had properties in 3 markets, and how what we did was so different for him than what his other property management people did in the other markets.
Yeah.
And so that's how we got in connection with Jesse and started the conversation. And I mean, they want to grow a property management business there. So if anybody wants to invest in Springfield, Missouri, we'll be able to help them there eventually as well. Or I'll refer you to Jesse and Luke, and they'll help you. But you know, they really wanted to find a way to manage their own properties more efficiently, source more deals for themselves, be able to execute on different types of deals like heavy value add renovation deals, new construction, various things that they didn't really know how to do, that we can show them how to do.
That's great. I really like how you're building a network business here, like, where you've got, it's almost like you've got nodes that are going to grow. So if somebody wants to invest, they want to invest outside of their own area, and they're working with you, they're used to a system that they can move to, or they can go to another area and start investing in these other areas and know that it's going to be the same system running their properties. That's really cool.
Yeah, it'd be like you know, Starbucks. You know the drink you get from Starbucks is the same every time.
Yep.
And we hope that we can dial in a system and a process, and utilizing the technology as well to make it more efficient, more streamlined, less deviation, less mistakes and errors from human beings in property management.
Yeah. So would somebody be able to, from their user interface as an investor, I'm assuming they can log in, they can see all the information on their properties and different things. Could they sort of manage their portfolio with you across these different areas?
Yes. So one owner could have one portal with us that would have access to all of their information on all of their properties across any market that we manage. It's also very interactive for the owners in the software, which the software is not launched yet. So we use AppFolio currently. We use Tenant Turner as a self-showing leasing automation software, log it out as a key tracking system, and then QuickBooks and DocuSign. So we're kind of rolling the functionality of all those into one for our use. But the owner side is really cool in our system because they'll be able to just basically get 100 different reports on the way their properties are operating. They'll get full transparency at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in their app or on the web app.
Wow.
And be able to like run a date range of what was my rent roll from this date to this date, what was my P&L from this date to this date, how many showings have they done on my vacant unit from this date to this date.
That's great. That's really cool that you'll have that functionality that's built in across
ROI reports.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to plug in data on their investment, like what they bought it for, what they invested in it, how they financed it, all that. And they'll be able to spit out, ROI reports and that sort of thing on their back end.
That's really cool. I know also when it comes time to liquidate a property, that's going to be really, really helpful because at that point, it's always, you get a lot of questions from potential buyers like, well, what are the rent rolls? What's this and that? And so having all that at your fingertips should be really helpful.
Yeah, we can just spit out any report they need in a matter of seconds, and it's all done. The other thing is we have in our property management system, we do an annual portfolio review with all of our clients.
Okay.
For clients with one property, it may be a 10-minute phone call where we say, here's how the tenant's behaving based on our, payment history, mid-lease inspection. Are they operating according to their lease agreement, that sort of thing. We think we should renew with them. Here's what we believe we could raise the rent to, or maybe the rent needs to stay the same, whatever the market is, right? And we make a suggestion and we come up with a plan. With an owner that may have 50, 50 properties under management with us, that may be a biannual or a quarterly conversation where we're saying, okay, this person, we need to evict this person, or we know we're month to month on these units, we need to issue rent raise notices now. and strategize even with them to the level of, okay, there's capital improvements that need to be done on this unit, this unit, this unit.
Right.
You need to budget X for each of those and plan on this timeline for completion, and we're going to stagger our rent raises so that we know we're not going to lose tenants we don't want on a timeline we don't want that doesn't fit with your CapEx budget.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to dial it in less communication with the owners so that it makes it so much simpler, so that it makes it more like owning a mutual fund.
Yep.
And less like some annoying employee that works for you calling you every 5 days with some issue that they're dealing with.
Right. This is amazing. Again, thanks for coming in. This talk went deeper than I thought it was going to go. This was great, man. I presented the idea of doing a podcast, I think, last Tuesday. And Kathleen was like, yeah, let's do it next Tuesday. I'm like, really? Okay.
All right.
So
she's a true entrepreneur.
Thus the lack of preparation on everybody's behalf.
Not bad for no plan, right?
I know.
Yeah,
It was
no script,
it was
no plan,
kind of impromptu.
no questions.
Yep. I had a couple of questions for you.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, you didn't have like a detailed out script.
Yeah.
You're like Joe Rogan. You just fly.
Just winging it.
Yeah, just winging it.
He's probably winging it a lot less than, or he's.
Then when it
I'm
looks
probably
like-
winging it a lot more than him, to be honest. And I don't have a Jamie, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming in, man. This was really good, and I hope that our investors reach out to you and are able to utilize you as a resource for sure.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
Thanks for the
love that.
sponsorship, and
We'd love to help a few more people.
yeah. All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Colley.
I'll talk to you soon.